The reason why the testimony of God is at the mercy seat is because the mercy seat tells you about how God has shown mercy on you and the many things he's doing for you and many things he's doing with you. But testimony tells you about who God is. God is doing greatness with you is by mercy. God is doing mighty things with you is by mercy. In fact, that is showing you secrets is by mercy. But there is something that will keep the mercy. It's the testimony of who he is. Let me tell you how they overcame Lucifer. He said they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. We didn't know that one of the ways Michael traded with secret was testimony until the day Lucifer fell. And the day Michael showed up, that was the day we realized that it was not just the blood of Jesus. Don't forget, the blood of Jesus Christ speaks of mercy. It was not just the blood of Jesus that is needed in this kind of a warfare. It was also the testimony of Jesus, because the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy, and that testimony talks about the many dimensions of the person of the Father. It reveals the revelation of Jesus, not just because of what he does. You know, testimony on this earth is the revelation of what has been done for us. For example, in case somebody shares a testimony in your church, the testimony is most likely what happened, what God saved him through. But the testimony in the realm is the revelation of Jesus. When he begins to work with the man he has shown mercy, he quickly loads him with testimonies of himself. He begins to load him with testimonies of himself. Why do you pray and you start to sense his presence? That presence is supposed to be a testimony. Do you know what the testimony means in the court? Coming to prove a point, all right? That's what testimony means. Do you know in the court of God, that's what testimony means too? That when God shows you mercy, he brings you many of his testimonies. Do you know that testimony is the testimony of himself? The reason why, listen, no man has the grace to sustain any energy in God. In fact, let me tell you one of the meaning of power in the realm of God. One of the meaning of power in the realm of God is in how much testimony of God you can keep. How much of the person of God you can keep. Because you cannot sustain hunger until there is a testimony to keep it. So what they use to judge power in the realm of God is how much of spiritual hunger you can keep. That you can sustain an hunger for a long time. If these things are too deep, just let me know. That you can sustain an hunger for a long time. You can begin to pray now and there is power. You are praying consistently. One of the greatest venom that is being spit on many believers is the venom of inconsistency. That many people begin to pray today, but they don't know why they cannot just continue. It's because there is no testimony to keep the spiritual surge that is happening in the spirit. That when testimony comes, that testimony is the one. Testimony talks about the revelation of Jesus, not that what is actually pushing that person to prayer, pushing that person to many spiritual activity. It is not just about the works. It is not just about the prayer. It is the testimony of Jesus. And the testimony talks about the revelation of Jesus. So that your emphasis and focus is on the testimony, not on the manifestations. You are not focusing on prayer too much. You are not focusing on consistency. You don't even know you are consistent. Just that you are focusing on the testimony. And that revelation of Jesus is what we call love of Jesus. When you impart that testimony in your heart, you begin to that person. But inside that person you want, you actually now pray the testimony of Jesus. It's the spirit of prophecy.